Hello and welcome, beautiful people. We are just wrapping up our module 11, 10, and 9 unit test. I believe it's unit 5. Again, we are on campus. If you hear an intercom, I apologize in advance. If I make a mistake, I apologize in advance. Please let me know if there is a mistake on this, so that way we can both learn from my mistakes. All right, let's start with number 16. Number 16 is multiple choice. Multiple choice, you may like it, you may don't, but we're going to still solve it. So first thing we need to do is rewrite this using our power property here. And then that means if we're raising it to a power, we're multiplying. So we have 1,000 or 10,000, excuse me, to the 3/4 power. And then this is m. 8 times 3 is 24 over 4. So we have 10,000 to 3/4. And this is m to the 6th power. Again, process of elimination. Since we know m is to the 6th power, we know b is not the answer. We know c is not the answer. It's either a or d. If you were going to guess, you got a 50-50 shot, I'd probably go with d, but let's make sure that we know how to solve it. And so we're not guessing on our examination. Okay, so this here is 10,000. The power is 3. The index is 4. I'm going to omit the m to the 6th power since we already know what this is. I'm going to rewrite this because you can do something like this, which is pretty cool. You can write the power on the outside, means it's that exact same thing. You're just doing it after, not before. So then what times what times what times what? 4 times, same number, to give us 10,000. And in this case, it is 10. So we have 10 cubed, and 10 cubed is 1,000, and then we have our m to the 6th. So our answer is, in fact, D. Solve each equation. Moving on to number 17. Remember to check for extraneous solutions. Remember that extraneous solutions, we got to take our answer, plug it back in, make sure it works. Okay, so first thing I notice is both of these have a square root, so I'm going to square both sides. Again, what you do to one side, you do to the other. So we have -2 minus r is equal to r plus 4. Let's see here. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I have, what is this, 6? I'm going to subtract r both sides. So then I have -2r is equal to 6 divided by -2 divided by -2. R is then equal to -3. And I'm plugging this back in to make sure it still works. Everything works. Okay. So I have -2 minus a -3. That will give me a positive value in here. So that's okay. -3 plus 4, still a positive value in here. So we are safe. If it gives you a negative value and you have a square root of a negative value, that would be your extraneous solution. You can't have that. Okay, solve each equation. Okay, first thing, this is in a bubble on its own. Keep it in a bubble. Work outside of the bubble before you work inside the bubble. So I'm going to add 10 to both sides. So this is 2 is equal to k to the 1/3 power. Again, rewrite this. Exponent is 1. Index is 3. Let me shift this up. So how do I undo this? Well, I'm going to cube both sides. K is then equal to 8. There you go. All right, let's move on. Just a few more. All right, we're going to sketch the graph of the given function. We've done this, I don't even know how many times we've done this, but we've done this a lot. We're going to do it one more time before your test. Notice this is not an extra credit question. The extra credit comes below this, so you are expected to know this on your examination. Okay, anytime you see an X, draw an arrow. Identify what your 0 is. So 0, 1, -2, -4, and 3. Identify the behavior at that 0 by looking at the exponent. If you don't have an exponent, write one in. It's always going to be 1 if it's missing. So I have a line, I have a parabola, I have a parabola, I have a John Travolta, and a John Travolta. Identify what your end behaviors are. Again, end behaviors, you're looking at your leading coefficient, which is negative. And then you're going to have, that means decreasing, right? So then you're going to count all of your exponents, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you have odd and negative. That means your right-hand side and your left-hand side are going to be opposite, but we're going down. So your right-hand side is going down and your left-hand side is going up. All right? So then identify your zeros here by graphing them. Oh, it's going to be all squished together. Okay. We know our right-hand side is going to go down and our left-hand side is going to go up. So at -4, it's going to be a John Travolta. At -2, it's going to be a parabola. At 0, it's going to be a line. At 1, it's going to be a parabola. I'm going to try to squish this in. Make sure that your function is all smooth and curved, parabola. And at -2, where did I get a 2 from? Oh, that's weird. I should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be a 3, not a 2. Always check your work. And then we have John Travolta. Make sure that your John Travolta is going the correct way so you still have a function. If it's going the opposite way, you might not have a function, okay? So your graph should look like this. For extra credit, find the surface area of the figure below. Leave the answers in exact form. Here's the thing though. I kind of forgot to put the question, but that's okay. Just make sure that you are memorizing your surface area formulas for the exam. You will have a question about surface area of a composite figure. It didn't say that it's composite, but for sure I'm giving you only composite figures. Find all zeros. So if you can factor this, and you can identify what the zeros are. If you cannot factor, you have to use the rational roots theorem. Note that it's not asking you to state all the possible zeros. All the possibles is you using the rational roots theorem, and that's it. Because it's asking to find all zeros, and we don't have the keyword of possible zeros, then we actually have to state which ones work, which ones are the zeros, which ones are the roots. I'm immediately noticing that I have an XX and a 2 here that I can pull out, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do x squared, x minus 4. Ooh. And then I'm going to pull out a 2 here, and I get x minus 4. And I'm happy because this means I can group these together. So I have x minus 4, and then I get to group these together, which is x squared plus 2. So again, identifying zeros. What does this have to be in order for this to be 0? Whenever we're asking that, you guys just remember we're setting each individual piece to equal to 0 and solving. So this one here, we're just adding 4 to both sides. So this is 4. This one here, I am subtracting 2 to both sides. So I have x squared is equal to -2. Take the square root of both sides. So I have x is equal to square root of -2. Now, some of you will say, well, that's not possible. But wait, it is, because we can say that this is equal to -1, square root of -1, and the square root of -2. And again, whenever you're solving it, you're going to have a plus or minus out in front. I'm kind of running out of room, so I'm going to write up here. So we have the square root of -1 is I. So I have plus or minus I root 2. And I kind of left a negative here. That negative is already being taken care of right here. So then my x is plus or minus I root 2. So looking at our original function, looking at the highest exponent, we have 3. That means by the corollary of the fundamental theorem of algebra, we need to have 3 zeros or 3 roots as well. So I have 4 plus or minus I root 2. So I have a total of 3. They should always match up. So zeros or roots are going to be 4, comma, plus or minus I root 2. All right, beautiful people, that is it. That is your Unit 5 examination. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Let me know. Come in for tutoring. I want every single person to be successful. As of right now, I don't know when you're going to be watching this video, but your test is next week. If there are any mistakes, please let me know so we can both learn from our mistakes. I expect greatness. You are wonderful people, and I wish you good luck on this upcoming assessment. Thank you. Bye-bye.